This is part 2 of the recap. Go watch part 1 first if you haven't seen it. Oh boy, here we go. Back to the bittersweet universe of ReiReimu. In last episode it was revealed that Rumia's seal was corroding away, so soon something bad might happen. Before I continue, I want to apologize for the time gap between these, because to be quite honest, I'm a lazy fuck. I say this when I spend a lot of time researching some old map from TF2. But anyways, let's not waste too much time on this intro and just jump into it. Third episode starts off at midnight where we see Rumia's darkness leaking out. Yukari and Yuka were right about one thing, that being Rumia's seal was withering away and that darkness is once again free, and all we can hear is the disgusting blobs of the darkness and Rumia's scream. Pretty interestingly, we see that Reimu has dreams of her past with her mother and Rumia, and she's very confused by this. She doesn't get to wonder who they were for long when Marse crashes in and tells Reimu they've got a big problem. I mean, it can't be that bad. Holy shit. She wasn't lying about the severity of the situation. Yukari appears and tells Reimu that the yokai who is behind this is someone she knows well, Rumia. Right off the bat, the dark side of the story starts very early, compared to the previous one where it started pretty late to the story. But it works to its favor because you can't really do the same thing and expect it to cause the same shock. So it's good that they start the serious stuff now. Yukari explains that her seal has been broken and what they see now is a darkness she has been storing up inside her up until now. Yukari isn't sure what caused her to end up like this and asks Reimu what does it mean to her because he is Hakurei Miko. As she puts it, the darkness doesn't only dissolve nearby trees. It threatens the very foundations of Gensokyo to the point where the barrier will dissolve and Gensokyo will vanish. Marisa is confused by what this means because he's an absolute autist and says that it's an incident and they need to hurry to resolve it. Yukari, being the baddest bitch in Gensokyo, isn't impressed by this and just says there's no need because her servants are setting up multiple large-scale barriers which when they are used will erase the darkness along with Rumia. Marisa starts questioning the plan until Yukari decides to make her shut up and says that this isn't like the game she has been playing now. This is a yokai who has murdered a lot of people in the past and doesn't matter who she works with for whatever reason. If she tries to destroy her beloved Gensokyo, she will show no mercy. Yukari isn't playing around when it's about serious threat which could destroy the whole plane of existence. She tells them to stay out of the way and asks Reimu to she understand too. Reimu has been eating cookies all this time, she clearly doesn't give a fuck. She'd rather be sleeping right now than deal with this shit. Marisa isn't fine with Reimu agreeing with Yukari's plans and runs away. As the darkness is approaching, Reimu is sitting at her porch thinking that it's quiet and it will be even more quiet when Rumia is gone. Reimu remembers her time with Rumia when suddenly something jumps into her hand. It's Rumia, but not really. She's just seeing her own things, but as soon Rumia fades away, Reimu starts to remember all the time she spent with her. She realizes that she is going to lose an important person in her life and gets up. As she is readying herself, Marisa appears and insists on going with her. Reimu doesn't want Marisa to join with her, but Marisa insists because they're rivals since way back. But as Reimu is questioning when they became rivals, Marisa asks Reimu their friends. Reimu just shrugs off the question before Yukari stops them. As Reimu answers Yukari's questions, she asks is Rumia this important to her.
いいや、全然ないわ。だってあいつは断ることに噛みつくし、おバカに頭悪いし、おまけに尻も噛みつくし、よだれも垂らしてくるし、そんでもってべったりくっついてくるし、そんなやつが大切なやつなわけないじゃない。でも、嫌いじゃなかったわ。そういうの。ほんと。私はただ毎日一人でのんびりお茶をすすりたいだけだったのよね。私はただ今までの日常に戻したいだけ。ゆかりのやり方じゃそれが叶わない。だから私は私のやり方で解決するわ。
やはりあなた
白麗の巫女失格だわ。
Reimu almost told how she feels. This is such an awesome scene because before these moments we always saw Reimu making some excuse to get out of a situation she didn't like being. She told that she always wanted to be left alone, but she won't let go of Rumia, even if she can be a pain in the ass. Literally. No matter what Yukari plans to do, now if she can only be more honest to herself. After credits, Reimu and Marisa won the fight, but Yukari tells that it's useless now because that volume of darkness is impossible to stop. After 1 hour, Reimu will die. As Reimu and Marisa hurry to stop Rumia, Rinosuke is sitting near and remarks of Yukari, a great yokai won't lose to humans and she let them go. Yukari tells that this was her genuine power, she's just getting old.
マリサとレイムは頼む。
まったくみんな勝手ね。
This episode didn't waste any of the punches. It was straightforward and powerful. No bullshit good for awesome moments. Just Reimu wanted to save Rumia no matter what. She realized late how much Rumia means to her, but that won't stop her trying to save Rumia and continue living with her trying to eat Reimu's continue her daily life. Before we continue, I have to list maybe one big criticism of this sequel, and that being Rumia. Look, I'm not that strict about Touhou canon or its characters. That's why I love about the characters, like with Canon Zero, she's an idiot, but can read and count. But with Fanon, well, she's an absolute retard. Rumia is a darkness manipulating yokai who is fairly powerful to overcome a normal human, but doesn't have the power to end the world. But with this fan story, she's regarded very powerful who can end the world. It doesn't really make sense regarding to the canon, but this is a criticism that will only matter to some hardcore Touhou canon fan, so it doesn't bother me at all. Alright, back to the story. Episode starts with Reimu and Marisa approaching the spear, wondering how they can stop the thing from consuming the world. They don't really get time to think when the globe starts shooting them with darkness. And as they have to start defending themselves, the situation starts to look hopeless.
だいぶ手こつってるようね、レイム。あ、レミリア。私たちだけじゃないわよ。ハンレ、アリス。古い友人の頼みだ。
The foes Reimu has beaten and became friends with come to the scene to help them to stop Rumia from devouring the entire world. As they start their counterattack, this lets Reimu and Marisa continue to the globe. Then Marisa gets some brilliant idea, and this banger of a song starts playing.
ここは私に任せな。あんた、まさか。飛ばすぜヘルエイジングだーいくぜ
It's good to see that during such dark times there can be still hilarious moments. Marisa decides to leave everything up to Reimu, and while she tries to make up an excuse about wanting to save Rumia, Marisa tells her to be more honest to herself before swinging her.
行ってこい
But all of a sudden, giant hands appear from the globe with a screech. As they approach Reimu, Marisa throws out her spell card, Final Spark. The hands now target Marisa and she has no time to react. Before Marisa gets consumed by darkness, another Master Spark saves her, showing Yuka has come to the scene to help. But with Yukari with her, Yukari sends trains to attack the globe while setting barriers with them. As Reimu steps inside one of the trains, she is greeted by Yukari there. As the episode ends in cliffhanger, the hype does not. I just love how Reimu doesn't need to do this alone like her mother did, but has other people helping her. It does truly show how different she is from her mother, who won't hesitate to kill a yokai, which resulted her being alone and feared. But Reimu befriending with them, she has allies who help her with the darkest times. Yukari and Reimu meet again, and as Reimu is confused, Yukari collapses to take support from Reimu. She tells that because she has used this much power, she has taken few years from her lifespan, and her getting older has started to take a toll in her. She used small portion of her power and she's in a bad condition. As she knows Reimu won't go back anymore, she decides to tell about the darkness that Rumiya carries and the friendship between her and previous Hakurei Miko. Yukari mostly tells what happened in Osana and Reimu and what Miko's plan was. But I find it really sad how much Rumiya loved humans, but her sins continued to crush her that she would rather die than to eat any human again. But because Miko pushed Rumiya to her limits, she was forced to devour her and continue living. Because Miko's power was to use darkness inside her as a raw power, it was worth a lifetime worth of energy for Rumiya, so she won't need to consume any more darkness or human flesh. Miko gave Rumiya two seals, one to make the massive amount of darkness to a minimum, and the other one covered up Rumiya's sins. A double layer seal.
これがたった一人たった一人の最低限の犠牲です。あの子なりに考えた。彼女が望んでいた人を食べたくないという望みに最も近く、彼女に近い境遇で生まれて親友であり、あの子だからこそできた。生きてほしいとあの子が願った。さて
But because her seal was dissolved, she remembers everything and is in utter state of despair. She remembers her killing her best friend and all the people she has eaten. Reimu is the only one who can save Rumiya now, because he has already saved her once. Yukari managed to crash one of the trains inside the globe, and we get to see what kind of hellish place it is inside. As Reimu steps foot on the ground, Rumiya comes out of the darkness to greet her, scarily calm. After the credits, Yukari wakes up to a Chen crying, and it's revealed that what Yukari did made the barriers pointless. So all this time they could have stopped Rumiya's advances, but Yukari didn't want that to happen, so she pretended to stop them. She is brave to leave Gensokyo's fate hanging on one person who needs to face a scary powerful yokai inside an hellish globe. Ran wishes that Yukari won't carry all the burdens with her because they're her shinigamis and family. As Yukari goes back to sleep and leaves everything up to Reimu, we wait back to Reimu and Rumiya, who has impaled Reimu as he laughs in joy to get another tasty Miko to eat. Holy fucking shit! I can't believe Reimu is fucking dead! Just love how everyone teams up to help Reimu to stop Rumiya from devouring Gensokyo, and just how much sadness there is. I want to apologize for not adding so much talks. There's just so much shit to process and I can't put these feelings to talks. Is this how it ends? Rumiya gets to eat another shrine maiden while she destroys Gensokyo. I guess we will find about it soon. So it turns out Reimu didn't get devoured, it was her decoy who got attacked instead. As Reimu tries to counterattack her, she gets blocked by Rumiya, who has gone insane, most likely because of her memories and Miko's darkness. As Reimu questions is the monster in front of her Rumiya, she backs off because she has to fight someone who has lost too much. Rumiya is so fucking terrifying, and it doesn't even help with the music in the background, which sounds like some demonic chanting.
So だったら話が早いわ。ぶっ飛ばしてこの気持ち悪いおはぎを解いてもらうわよ。覚悟なさい。
Reimu tries to make Rumiya remove the blob of darkness, but Rumiya has no intentions to remove it, so Reimu needs to kill her to stop this all. Something Reimu clearly doesn't want. This fight is the same fight with Rumiya and Miko, but with roles reversed. Rumiya didn't want to kill Miko because all the memories they had with each other but this time Reimu doesn't want to kill Rumia or even hurt her too much because of the memories. As Reimu questions, does Rumia even know what her darkness is doing? Rumia answers.
知っているわよ。だってそのために大きくしてるんですもの。
ならどうして？
Man, Rumia has lost it. Not only wanted Reimu dead, but whole fucking Gensokyo destroyed too. As Reimu tries to defend herself from barrage after barrage of Rumia's attacks, Rumia tells why she wants to destroy Gensokyo.
どうしてですってあなたにも見えてるはずよ。その闇から溢れて誇り、憎しみ、悲しみが。
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。 ごめんなさい。
Reimu's mother was sorry for all the things she has done. She did what she had to, but that didn't stop people and yokais hating her. As Reimu starts being overflowed with darkness, she frees herself with a bomb, and Reimu realizes why Rumia does this. She will avenge Miko's hatred and sorrow. She will attack Gensokyo itself. Rumia's globe starts tearing Gensokyo apart, as Reimu watches in terror what Rumia is doing. Rumia reveals her new power, Miko's fantasy nature. She does massive attack which drops Reimu under massive boulders, heavily damaging her. Reimu starts questioning what is she doing and how she feels about this situation until we get a flashback. Come back to the moment where Reimu said to Yukari that yokai extermination is boring. While Yukari explains what happens if Reimu doesn't do her job, she also shows Reimu beautiful magic fireworks, telling that they're destructive enough to hurt a human, but depends on how they're used. It can also be used to dazzle them. Yukari tells that if she doesn't like something, she can also change them, but it will be a far more difficult task than to simply kill a yokai. Not a single Hakurei has tried to move this path, and she asks Reimu if she is ready to do this.
もしも実現できたのならきっと人間も妖怪もみんなが笑っていられるそんな世界になるかもねそれでどうするやってみる
And this is the origins of the spell cards we see. Oh yeah, some context. I forgot to mention that in the first episode when Reimu broke her rules. Marisa was referring to the spell cards. Reimu implemented these to give weak human and yokai a chance to win, a more powerful yokai to defeat the Hakurei's run in a fair duel. Reimu didn't want to kill yokais, so she made a non-lethal, more beautiful way of keeping Gensokyo in balance.
私はああ、やってられない。妖怪退治とか幻想郷がどうとかうちうち考えてバカみたい。結局私がやれることなんてこれしかないじゃない。エルカートここからが本当の戦いよ。さあ始めましょう。この世最も無駄なゲーム。 ダウマスコット始まるよ。
I just love this. The horror was max and this bear is fucking real when Rumia has gone insane and wants to destroy Gensokyo. I can't wait to cover rest of the episodes, but we have to end this one here. Yeah, ReiReimu is pretty long, so I will cover final episodes in our final recap part. Stay tuned for that and have a nice day everyone.
感傷左時に迷い道連れ